Right, so the Champions League day has come officially for the 25-26 season. We are going to see Champions League conversation all across Europe. Now, there have been a lot of things that have gone on. In fact, Bayern are saying certain things about Chelsea. They said they are going to get some Chelsea inside information in terms of Maresca tactics or the ball game. At the Allianz Arena. They believe strongly, say they are going to get some tactical, leanings in terms of game na Chelsea Bebono. Where they will get those tactical leanings on, I'll tell you about it as on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There are lots of things that's going to go on. Reece James has been speaking, and Enzo Maresca and any team are going to have a big conversation in terms of the pre-match conversation of the football club Bayern match. Maybe they did some common on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification turn and do choose all, just so anytime that there is content here, you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, in the notification turn and do choose all. Of course, and a big Champions League day, so there are going to be codes for you in the description of the video right there. Go and see the codes now for we've got on Fiifi-Manfred social media handles, and you find all of those codes also there as well. Go and pick up the codes, stick them, and then go and make some good money. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let me say a big thank you to my people. The two companies have made this show a possibility. First off, Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop, your best place for spare parts dealership. Oh, Accra, just go to Abosokan, right by the post office. They'll take care of you. If you are not in Accra and then you're outside of Accra, then call him on 059-313-8221. Yesumo will take very good care of you. Again, anything out there in terms of clothes, apparel, slippers, anything like of that, and they will be shame will look good. Then it's my man MOB Clothing. He's the one that will take very good care of you. Please contact MOB Clothing. To do at a flower station. MOB will take very good care of you. Call them on 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708 over there, and have the conversation and get anything that you want to get for yourself. Very important in terms of Chelsea Forum conversation. And one of the things that we heard from the camp of Abrantia, your friend Emmanuel Emega, and maybe some Matty bits now, and we'll talk about a lot of other things also as well. And I have a lot of things to tell you, a lot of things I need to break down for you, very interesting stuff. And he said, Chelsea fully believe, he said, the arrival of Emmanuel Emega probably closes the door on Abrantia friend Nicholas Jackson. That is how Chelsea see these things. They believe strongly that if it is about, say, Nicholas Jackson, Echo Bayern, he is going to come back and play at Chelsea. You should forget. Because for them, UTA, an interview, Emmanuel Emega, with Nigerian journalist Omba Akatuba, if I didn't get the name right, you should forgive me. He goes on where he talks about the fact that the idol and as a striker or Shenepa, Victor Osimhen. Now, I think Emmanuel Emega is built in that fashion. Big, bulky, tall, physical. And the last time I was telling you, Emmanuel Emega is different. It's different from what Nicholas Jackson gives you. Nicholas Jackson is more of outside of the box striker. And this one is a box dominant striker. Can play inside, can play outside, can drop centrally. He's a big figure in terms of what he can give you. And Chelsea fully believe that they have a striker sort out that. In fact, in January, if things don't go according to plan in terms of striker and Saint-Semen, Liam Delap injury and certain issues, they will bring in our branch friend Emmanuel Emega from team friend RCD Strasbourg, and they think that Emmanuel Emega is quality in that regard. Now, in that same meeting, and now Max Abel is hinting to the fact that Omo Bayern for GD say Abrantia defending Nicholas Jackson is going to give them some inside information of Enzo Maresca tactics. According to Max Abel, Bayern for are going to benefit from that thing from Abrantia for Nicholas Jackson. I mean, I'm not even surprised Abrantia for Nicholas Jackson is going to give them that information, because obviously that's his new team. He's going to get a job done. What Bayern do not know that they will see Enzo Maresca Munich or the Allianz Arena, and he is going to show them something else that he knows. Enzo Maresca, for me, I've said several times that the quality of the coach, how he plays his game, and execution on the field of play by the players, it's on the next level. And it is going to be a big deal of reckoning for Enzo Maresca, where he shows what he's got. Our Champions League, in all of these Champions League conversation, Reece James has been talking, he has been doing the conversation. Reece say, for him as a young player, one of the things that he has dreamt of since he was very young was to captain Chelsea for the big Champions League nights like this, and he believes that this is going to be the time for him or no Reece James to go in there and go and get a job. So the Champions League is where the club belongs. We are happy to be back playing against the best teams and then competing to the best competitions, because we haven't been in this for the last 2 seasons, and that is huge. Chelsea finally returned to the Champions League after being away for 2 solid seasons for themselves, and it is huge. It's a place where they really need to impact themselves, impose themselves, and then make sure so they can go and deliver. And that's what Reece is saying. Say the club belongs to Champions League, and okay, they are some of the big teams, regardless of what Chelsea have done at the Club World Cup. That alone is not enough. And for high performance games, teams say, you can't stop winning. You win today, you need to win tomorrow. You need to win tomorrow's next. And they're very important. And that's what Reece James is saying. Say, going back to the Champions League is important for them. Now he goes on, or say captaining Chelsea was always something I dreamt of, respectfully, especially in the Champions League. Having been there a while now and seeing the change and how we have got to have that, we are in a good position. We finished last season super strong, and I hope this season can be better now. And that's what he's saying. When is the Chelsea quality that they have in terms of how they want to go and play their games, the league phase format of the Champions League, Chelsea can adapt, because if they have to play games home and away and play consistently against on the top boys, he believes that they can hold their own. And I think that that's going to be an interesting one for Chelsea Football Club, how they hold their own against the big boys, how they'll be playing against the Bayern Munich, how they'll be playing against the Paris Saint-Germain again, the Barcelonas. These big boys really will test the mettle of Chelsea Football Club to know if they are good enough to get to the next level, if they are quality now to be able to transform how they play and then get results in terms of how they do their things. It's going to be very, very important. That you're gonna Reece goes and says, I don't look at what other people say. We can achieve anything as long as we understand and believe. We know we can go far with the team we have. That is all that matters. It was the best feeling winning the Champions League. Many people didn't believe in us at that time, but we did it. Every round that year, we felt like everyone made us underdog, even in the final, but we went on and to win it. I won it so young, and I didn't expect to win it so early in my career, but I hope to win it again. That is the most special feeling player, and I think that what Reece is talking about essentially goes on to feed into everything that Chelsea are trying to do. Say, Charlie, the Champions League, they can go on and win it, but in winning it, you need to put in a lot of effort. How are Chelsea going to make sure they put in a lot of effort to deliver in winning the Champions League? How is Enzo Maresca going to approach the games? Because the thing is that the Champions League conversation is going to be different. See, the players that Chelsea has bought, if you talk of Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Marco Correa, Reece James himself, Malo Gusto, going to the attack and talk of Cole Palmer, Joao Pedro, all of these players are top level Champions League quality delivering players, and they had to play in the Champions League. Chelsea getting them to go and play in the Champions League is huge for them, and it increases on potential, on shell level and all of those things now in terms of the quality of what Chelsea gets when these players go and play. One of the best news, good news, and now Chelsea in the conversation for Champions League, and it's a brand here when Estevan Willian had returned to training, and I did mention to you the last time, say after he returned from Bolivia for the international break, a brand here friend Estevan Willian had to make sure that he comes back, but when he returned to Cobham, he reported ill. So Chelsea did not add him to the team that went for Brentford. They gave him a day off to go and rest, and that is exactly where when the training photos came out, and I think that's an excellent news, because that is going to be a big game for Estevan Willian. The Bayern game is a game made for wingers, made for explosive attacking wingers. Bayern have seen in Michael Olise. They have seen in Abrante Feno, Luis Diaz in that regard. They have quality in attack in Abrante Feno. Harry Kane when you play against them. But really, it's also on the other side of Chelsea. How can the likes of Estevao Willian, how can Cole Palmer, how can Joao Pedro, and even Abrante Feno, Jimmy, Bino Gittins, and Joao and Pedro Neto be very, very quality and decisive? Because that game for me is going to be decided by whose wingers, whose attackers have a good day. And I think that's where it's going to come. And Pat Neven, when Estevao with Willian returning from the little day off, he said Estevao Willian has got every chance of being one of the best in the business. And I think that is true, because that is quality in terms of how he plays over there. And it's very, very interesting. Right, in training, Alejandro Garnacho was there. Cole Palmer had returned to training again. Abrante Feno, Tyree George was back in the conversation. Also, El Cobham, and everybody felt that, okay, they are in the right place, preparing well, training well to go inside and then go and deliver. In terms of how things are going on well for them, there was a special training in the conversation in and around Enzo Maresca and Abrante Estevao Willian to make sure they can get the best out of him. It's very, very interesting to see how things can go. I think that is going to be a big one when it comes to Abrante Feno. Andre Santos for Chelsea Football Club, how he's going to, of course, in the Champions League, up to one is a Chelsea phone are the sixth best placed team to win the Champions League. I mean, it's a long way to go, very, very long way in terms of where you move from, how you start, things are going to go, where everything are going to go. The games that you play away from home games, it's a very, very long way to go in terms of getting a final decision on how, a final decision of how you will be able to be successful or not, or whether you be successful or not. It's very, very interesting to see how things are going to pan out from there in terms of what Chelsea want to do. It's really going to be interesting. Now, up to four, any who scored who at the data set today by Bunting, and two Chelsea players lead with department of who scored who.com say so far in English Premier League. Baby, about English Premier League number bedroom. Two players, are leaders in their departments. One centre back, one defender. According to who scored who, these are the top rated players, and these guys are Chelsea. First one, Abrante Feno, Trevor Chalobah. Now, according to who scored who.com, I'm gonna pick your data sets now in the opening Premier League games of the season. Trevor Chalobah is the highest rated centre back in the English Premier League. The last time I did say here, Trevor's development and then growth has been there for everybody to see. He seemed to have been on next level in terms of how well he plays. Sometimes, we've said several times here, a lot of us had issues with Trevor ball playing and even being the aggressive centre back that steps up and makes up danger. In fact, Trevor's quality and then return to the top in team. Enzo Maresca Crampo has found it difficult to bring back Wesley Fofana back into the team. It's been more about Trevor Chalobah in the aggressive, combative, dual winning, ball passing ability. He has been very important. According to whoscored.com, Olidi as the best highly rated centre back our English Premier League game, highest rated centre back our English Premier League game. Charlie, that is the quality you get from Obitisa Brantia, your friend Trevor Chalobah. Now, who scored who for say and I came to tell you about the fact that Chelsea Fono are willing to approach Moises Caicedo and give him what they think he deserves. According to them, he deserves somewhere around £200,000 a week and more for Abrante Feno Moises Caicedo, and they are willing to give them amount of money to him. And of course, Chelsea Fono started that pre-contract conversations with Abrante Feno Moises Caicedo. Now, when they went in there, when they started that conversation, who scored who for? They say, in terms of the English Premier League, the midfielder that has made the most tackles, that's made the most interceptions in the English Premier League this season, and by extent, the best defensive midfielder in the English Premier League in the first few games that have been played on, Abrante Feno Moises Caicedo. That's exactly what they are saying. Moises Caicedo has been quality in terms of how he has been playing on the ball, off the ball, the quality of play, everything. It's Moises Caicedo that has been super. I'm going to say Moises Caicedo has the most tackles, 16, most interceptions, 12 in the English Premier League this season as it stands now. And like I said the last time, that goal from Abrante Feno Moises Caicedo really, really deserved the winner against Yefreno Brentford in the English Premier League. I think that goal definitely would have been super if you would have been able to give our Brentford friend Moises Caicedo the winner against Team friend Brentford. Would have been good from there. In fact, Moises himself has been talking, and according to him, I say for now there, what happened inside Brentford game, Charlie, they have to put it behind them. They have to come back and then focus on that Bayern game. That's going to be a huge one, because to be very honest, that Bayern game is not going to be an easy one. Anyway, Enzo Maresca in a pre-match press conference, but when he brings it, we'll be here. We'll delve into it. We'll talk about it, and then we'll have the conversation of how things are going to go over there. Maybe all the analysis from here for you on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Like again, every day, make an unsubscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification turn, do choose all, just so anything is going to go on and then be very, very well. What we are hearing is Cole Palmer is saying that he has won the Champions League, but then with City, he wasn't a main guy in that game. And then, of course, not being a main guy in that game has affected him. What Cole Palmer wants to do is that he wants to be able to win the Champions League as a main guy at Chelsea Football Club. And that is going to be a huge one for our brand here, your friend Cole Palmer, over there for themselves, if he's able to go back into the Champions League and then go and play. And the Champions League games are there. Arsenal are going to go away to go and play against Real Sociedad. There are going to be a lot of other games that's going to go on in the Champions League today that we'll be talking about, and also previewing some of the games. And now Madrid for next starting big one against Marseille. If Madrid play in this game, they are going to make a record. They would have played the most games that have been played in terms of the Champions League. It's going to be the most games that have been played in terms of the Champions League that a team has played. Almost Nefi Abo against team your friend Marseille, and that's a quality team coached by Roberto De Zerbi. So it means that it's going to be difficult. All of us have said that Oshe Bona, Xabi Alonso, and Emran Tierney have played in the Spanish La Liga, and it has been a good one. It has been a very, very good one in terms of how well they have played in terms of the games that they've played. Now, you look at how our friend Xabi Alonso uses Aurelien Tchouameni to get in between the two centre halves now, open up the play, and then make sure things go on well for them now. It has shown the quality of team my friend of football club Real Madrid, and they are going away to go and play against team. They are staying at home to go and play against team your friend of Marseille. I mean, only Marseille, but it's not going to be an easy one, because Marseille have a good coach and the experience. But then Real Madrid constantly win their first league of the season. First match of the season, almost every time Madrid make sure that they win in the Champions League. They don't ever lose on the first match of the season. Almost every game in the Champions League first game, Real Madrid go on to go and win. In fact, I'm expecting that and then we are going to have a Kylian Mbappe to score. Kylian says that today is going to be a day where he's going to score the goals from there. He's going to have, impose himself. This season has been a very, very good season as it has started for team your friend of football club Real Madrid. It looks to be a very, very good one for them. It looks as if Madrid are in a very good place, and then they'll be able to go in and then go and succeed and play very, very well and get the results that they want to go and get from there. It's not going to be easy for our branch friend Xabi Alonso. Xabi say he was optimistic connecting with Kylian Mbappe, and it looks as if Mbappe the right to. I think some Madrid are going to win this one. At least a Madrid win on over 1.5 is going to happen, and Kylian Mbappe to score. Kylian Mbappe to score. Sehu Guirassy to score. Those are my today. Anytime goal score is Kylian Mbappe to score. Sehu Guirassy to score. In Turin, it's going to be an interesting one over there for football club Real Madrid. Apart from Madrid match, and there are going to be other ones as well. There's going to be the big one. Also, in the conversation of our brand here, your friend PSV Eindhoven, Abetsnefi Union St. Gallos. I mean, the Dutch football winners, and then of course the Belgian also league winners against each other. This is an either team to win on over 1.5. Athletic Club versus Arsenal. Big one between the two. Arsenal are preparing at home to play against team friend Athletic Club. It's going to be a huge one. I think that Arsenal for 2 or 3 players and even the coach from the Basque region of Spain. In fact, Athletic Club in recent times, in terms of playing at home in Europe, at the opening, they tend to win. But I think that playing against English clubs will come a little bit difficult for Athletic Club, especially also with the fact that a lot of understanding of the Bucks' way of playing by the players in the warm team. You know, I don't think Athletic Club will stand the chance of playing against Football Club Arsenal away from home. Although Arsenal for some injuries, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, William Saliba, all of these guys. But then Gabriel Mosquera has shown that anytime that he has stepped up on the pitch to play his football, he has played well, he has imposed himself, he has been a quality player for Arsenal for them in that game. I expect Arsenal to go away and then get that win. Benfica stay at home with Bruno Lage still as manager against Karabakh. I mean, some of these games, sometimes there's always a shocker. Some of these games, Benfica, it's not train Karabakh. You think that, Benfica for Jumano, easy peasy. Benfica for no, ebe sorti out Jumano, you're normal, simple. But you go into the game and you realize that it is not going to be an easy game, not a straightforward game like that. I suspect that Benfica will fool today. I suspect Benfica for the part. But then again, I will take it out of the most important slips that I'll do. I'll take it out. Some of them, if I'm supposed to bet on this, it's either team to win on over 1.5 or Benfica straight to win. That odd is too small for anybody that wants to go to Fika CML or them. Juventus will be staying at home. Igor Tudor got a good win at home against Christian Kivu's Internazionale Milan. I mean, I always felt that Christian Kivu was not going to hold his own against Igor Tudor, especially in Turin. It was not going to be possible. Really, it was going to be the quality of Juventus, and of course, I got to those display and quality of playing in Turin. That was going to be, because that is a young, exuberant, pacey, attacking team in the Juventus team. Jonathan David, Loic Openda, Kenan Yildiz. That is quality across the front line, and they can play against anybody. They stay at home today. I think it's an either half to win Juventus or Juventus straight to win, or either team to win over 1.5. Sehu Gurasi. Strong feeling that he's going to score in this one as well. He scores a lot when he plays in the Champions League. Tottenham Hotspur versus Villarreal at home. Thomas Partey returns back to North London. It's going to be a big one for our brand friend Thomas Partey, who is returning back to North London to come and play against team your friend Tottenham Hotspur. This time not to play against Arsenal, but then to play against Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. Very interesting one for team and your friend Tottenham Hotspur. If they're able to go into this one, Villarreal will be able to go into this one for our brand friend Thomas Partey or Horn. I think that Villarreal, it's going to be difficult for them to also beat team and friend Tottenham Hotspur, and an excellent coach in Thomas Frank. Thomas is well understanding of the qualities of the team. You know, he gives in a lot of quality on the ball, off the ball. Strong tactical side with the likes of Mohamed Kudus returning to go and play in the Champions League. Now, Madrid for prepared nicely. Champions League football is back at the Santiago Bernabeu today. And of course, Madrid for there was some very, very interesting plan, especially the usage of our brand friend Kylian Mbappe from outward and getting in behind now. Of course, Madrid for said they are really, really interested also our match in Omojidi. So when it comes to the match that they are going to play against team friend in Marseille, then definitely they'll be able to go on and then go and win some match against Marseille. We'll see if Madrid will be able to go in and then go and get that win against Marseille. We'll see how interesting that game is going to be. Like I've said the last time, that I think that this is a game where Kylian Mbappe looks like he can get the edge and go in and then go and score. And football definitely returns to the Santiago Bernabeu. Somebody asked me to go through the match info for the Madrid game. So let's go into the UEFA website and see how the match info looks like. Who's going to start Santiago Bernabeu conversations? The referee is going to be Irfan Perto. He's going to be the referee on the day. The squad list, updates, and of course all of those things. Now, Madrid for now coming in with almost all of the more players that you need. It's going to be an interesting one. The pre-match analysis, I will talk about it. The stats that are going to fall down, club stats in terms of a conversation around the Champions League. Very, very interesting. Madrid for now going to play a lot of games in terms of some match. I think we would have played 200 games in the lead up to some match. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there. When it comes to football club, Real Madrid and how they are preparing for this big one in the Champions League. Media Maka say very, very interesting on Thursday. Barca are going to play against team your friend in Newcastle away from home. It's going to be one of those also very interesting games that are going to go on. How Barcelona are going to play against Newcastle, how they set up against Newcastle for the plan to go into that Newcastle win and then get the win against them. It's going to be interesting. How Barca go away from home and then gets the win against Newcastle. It's not going to be easy. You say Barca use what we call the central progression. How they constantly use the overloading of central areas and then quick one-touch passes to break down mid blocks and low blocks. That's exactly how Barca play most of our games. It's going to be based on that again. And Liam Delap, Papa spoke about Liam. So Charlie, the injury is affecting him kakra, but he thinks that a branch friend Liam Delap is going to come back fine. I mean, the number of weeks that he has to sit off. He believes strongly. So a branch your friend Liam Delap is going to get back and play the quality football that he wants to go and play. Of course, we'll see how things are going to go. Chelsea have several opportunities. For example, at centre back in terms of the January tournament, they are going to get a lot of opportunities to make sure they get back into getting the best players into the team, especially with the injuries now. Enzo Maresca complaining when you're in recent times now. They'll see if they'll be able to get the players back in. I want to know what the other clubs are saying, buying for preparation for this game against team a friend Chelsea Football Club, Real Madrid for also preparations for some match. The conversation that's going on in Germany. Of course, Makacho, so Max Ebel say on Ojitum, Ojidi say a branch for Nicholas Jackson. Some inside information to go ahead and go and win some match now on him. Sacha Boy tells Canal Plus his idol was his younger was Kylie Walker. A branch friend Sacha Boy and buying for player on him. He goes on. This is what Max Ebel said about Nicholas Jackson. Saying we're buying benefit from Nicholas Jackson inside now of Chelsea. So I'm sure Vinny and the coaching staff will ask him. There are always certain processes that you might still see in analysis. What signals do you have? What do these signals mean? I certainly believe the coaching staff will take advantage of that. Buying for now, really preparing for the Chelsea game now. Makacho saying for around 4 p.m. European time, buying on first training session. Ulster Bansrap. Normal pre-match press conference after that. Enzo Maresca Subetinasi were in the pre-match conference. That game is going to be a big one for Football Club Bayern Munich and the Chelsea Football Club. Guys, let me draw the curtain here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube on this morning's edition. Thank you very much for choosing us. We'll be back in the course of the day. Some more analysis. Until then, do take care. Bye-bye.